Stories are quietness that speaks volumes. My name is Osadmebi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Divine Grace Michael, and it's titled The Quiet Way. They knew her as Sister Miriam, the gentle widow in white, the woman who sat in the second pew every Sunday, hands clasped like a child, waiting for grace. People said grief had refined her, that pain polished her into something holy. They did not know what pain could polish. Before the white scarves and bowed head, Miriam was just a wife, not a beloved one, not the adored kind. Just a wife to Patrick, who spoke too loudly and drank too much, and hit harder when the beer turned to bitterness. Everyone knew. The neighbors, the vendors, even the church. But they offered her only prayers and pity, never intervention. Then came Lovette, 16, maybe 17. She had no family, only an aunt who sent her off with a nylon bag and a warning to be useful. Patrick noticed her immediately. Miriam watched it unfold like a script she had seen before. She did not want the girl. She welcomed her. She gave her extra meat, complimented her figure, spoke softly about how men changed when women grew old. Sometimes she left the bedroom door slightly open. She fed Lovette's insecurities, whispered passively about being a burden, about how men were physical beings. She made her believe the affair was love. She never told Lovette what to do. She just left the breadcrumbs. And Lovette, desperate and reckless, followed them. It was Lovette who brought up the sleeping powder. A harmless herb, she said. Miriam blinked, sighed, said nothing. Later, when it escalated to something stronger, Miriam still said nothing, just shook her head and looked away, eyes swollen with fake tears. "I only want him to be yours," she murmured once. "Maybe then, peace." Patrick got the full dose. Miriam and her son got just enough to collapse, not die. The hospital was in chaos. Patrick's heart failed before they could flush him. Miriam came out of her stupor, sobbing, clutching the IV stand like it was her cross. People called her a woman of deep love. The funeral was packed. She wore black lace and fell into fits of wailing so loud even the priest stuttered. Lovette was arrested a few days later. Her confession made headlines. Said she did it for love. Said she didn't mean to kill him. When Miriam visited her in prison, Lovette smiled, thinking it was love. "You said it," she whispered. "That I should?" "No," Miriam said quietly. "I never told you what to do. I just let you believe what you needed." Lovette stared. Her hands began to shake. Then she screamed. She leaped, teeth bird clawing at air. The guards caught her mid-lunge. Miriam wiped a tear from her cheek and whispered for all to hear, "I forgive you. Only God will judge." They called her a saint after that, because at the funeral a few weeks back, as they lowered the casket, no one saw the way her fingers twitched, as if brushing away a grin. The estate, the cars, the savings, everything transferred to her. Patrick's family tried to object. Then one relative died in a crash. Another suffered a stroke. A third was found naked in a church, laughing at ghosts. The village called it coincidence. Others called it karma. Miriam just smiled and hosted Bible study. Only Father Obinna looked twice. He caught her after midweek service. "There is blood beneath your silence," he said, "and shadows in your smile." She did not flinch. "You preach loudly," she said, "but your secret son has your voice and your nose." He swallowed hard. "Father, leave the sermons. Just give them God. Let me handle the rest." 2 weeks later, Father Obinna resigned. His replacement arrived quietly, without fanfare. Miriam was made a deaconess. She wore white, always. Her son sat beside her with blank eyes and folded arms. No one asked about the girl in the asylum. No one mentioned how Miriam's face never aged, how her voice remained calm no matter the storm. Some said she had God's favor. Others said grief had purified her. Only a few wondered if she had simply mastered the quiet way of surviving loud men. Divine Grace Michael is a writer who resides in Abia State. She is a creative writer whose work spans fiction, personal essays, and cultural critique. You can read more of her work on Medium at Essays with DG and connect with her on X at Essays with DG. Details and links will be in the episode description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, I would love to hear from you. Send an email to info@osadumebi.com or send me a message at Osadumebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or X. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with that one person you know will enjoy listening. Tell them that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.